Welcome back. I was doing a little bit of cleaning today and I came across something that, one, I can't believe is still here, and two, I still remember pretty clearly. As you work as a mechanic or technician or whatever you want to call it, there will be a lot of things that you do not remember doing, and then there will be those that you remember for years after they happen. And this is one of those. This little piece right here, this was a brake line repair on a Jeep Wrangler. So this is an up close view of this repair. You can see on this end we've got the coil around the brake line. That was an original OEM line. And then over on this side we've got a smooth line, which is like an aftermarket replacement for the steel brake lines. Now in the middle here we've got some zip ties, some hose clamps, and some clear rubber tube. And that is the repair. So this was done up underneath the Jeep Wrangler by somebody before they brought it to us for a no brake situation or low brake pedal situation. This little brake line piece was up on the frame rail for the rear brakes. The complaint when the customer brought it in was low brake pedal doesn't stop correctly. So I go out in the parking lot to pull this Jeep in, and I step on the brake pedal, and sure enough it goes almost to the floor, but has a little bit of brake once you get down towards the floor. Actually, it stopped okay-ish. The pedal was incredibly low. So I immediately assumed, all right, we've got a rusted out brake line. I'll bring it in, I'll put a little bit of fluid in the master cylinder, I'll pump it a few times, and it'll leak out of wherever it's got the hole, and we'll replace that line. I bring it in, I open the cap to the master cylinder is full. So right away I'm thinking, okay, maybe some air in the brakes, whatever. I guess that maybe somebody's done some work on it before. And I hadn't found this yet. So when I pulled it into the shop, I knew I had brakes. Before I brought it in, we've got a dirt driveway outside. I got a few mile an hour on it, jammed on the brakes real hard, and noticed that the front wheels were sliding. That means that the front wheels were still working, the rear wheels were not. So I knew I had an issue with the rear brake system. So I get this thing in, it's full of fluid. The bleeder screws came out of the rear brakes real easy. I bled the rear brakes. Didn't find this yet. Still no brakes. I can't remember if they said they'd fixed the brake line or what the deal was. But anyway, so no brakes, good fluid, all that stuff. So anyway, I got the other guy in the shop to get in there and step on the brake. And when he stepped on the brake, this hose just expanded out. No leaks, nothing like that. This hose just expands up and balloons out and sits there. As soon as he lets the brakes off, it collapses back down to normal size. He presses it a few times, it expands, contracts, never leaks a drop. This is actually sealed. It didn't leak. It's split now. I don't remember that it was back then. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It's been several years, so this plastic is kind of dried out. This was one of those memorable things that I thought was worth sharing. I think it was a funny story. I can't believe it's still here. This was literally like 10 years ago that I did this. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do with this. So maybe I'll just put it back in that same spot and I'll find it again in another 10 years. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.